Hey everybody, I'm Josh.
And Eitan.
Welcome back to the 32nd to the 33rd episode of the Young Half podcast, where two 14-year boys from New Jersey will discuss, debate, and share insights on everything from history to politics, sports, current events, and more. Follow us on Instagram at the Young Half and all of their social media platforms. To see more of our podcasts, check us out on your favorite podcasting platform at the Younger Half. You can also check out our YouTube channel to see our faces during our podcast at the Younger Half. And if you'd like to help grow the podcast by supporting us with a monthly donation, head to anchor.fm/youngerhalf/support. Excuse me, or click on the link in the description. So for this week's episode, we have a potential new face of the $20 bill, quite literally. We have
Yeah.
a little bit about the vaccine and debate question making another appearance. And obviously, don't
Yeah, and I
forget,
mean the
we
debate.
always have some trivia for you guys. So
Yeah. Speaking of the debate question, it gave me some throwbacks to some third grade essay, So I think I have some good talking points, Josh. But it'll be good.
we'll get there
Wanna start off with the
with the trivia question, right?
start off with the trivia.
So, if you watch your movies, you might know the answer to this, if depending on their realism. So, this week's trivia question is: what is the lowest army rank of a U.S. soldier? You think you know the answer?
Ooh. Nope, not a clue. That's something you would know though. What? Do you know
uh,
that?
I had a guess, but I mean I saw the answer before, so I didn't really.
Right. I know. Why do I feel like Josh would just be like, oh, obviously, whatever.
No, yeah.
Is it like sold? I'll guess my guess at
No,
the
it's a
end,
rank,
but
like in the police, let's say. So there's chief, and he's
okay, fine.
obviously the chief,
Right,
obviously.
right, right.
So like that.
All right.
So to get
Let's
into the
see.
episode, um, so the first thing we have is potentially, or not really potentially, I don't know the
Seems like
exact
it's
the
happening.
exact exact wording. I guess it is happening, but eventually, Harriet Tubman will be the new face of the $20 bill, Aton.
Wow, wow. That's what I wonder what goes into that, because
Yeah. So
like
here,
is regular $20 bill just gonna be more valuable now, without her, with, what do you have for us?
yeah. So I have here. Well, we'll start A before we get into Harriet Tubman. For those who don't know, the person on the $20 bills is Andrew Jackson, the seventh United States president. He was president. He served as the seventh president of the United
That was
States of America from 1829 to 1837. So, right, he's obviously on the 20th, on the $20 bill, not to be confused with Andrew Johnson, other president who was impeached. But so I'm gonna read here a little bit of a New York Times article about the Harriet Tubman $20 bill. Here we go. President Biden's Treasury Department is studying ways to speed up the process of adding Harriet Tubman's portrait to the front of the $20 bill after the Trump administration allowed the Obama era initiative to lapse. Jen Psaki, definitely pronouncing that wrong, the White House press secretary, said on Monday. The
You're good.
decision to have Miss Tubman replace Andrew Jackson as the face of the $20 note of the $20 note was set in motion in 2016, which I actually did not know, by the Treasury Secretary at the time,
Oh,
Jacob Lew.
really?
Yes, President Donald Trump opposed the idea, and his Treasury Secretary, Stephen Mnuchin, apologies for
Minucci,
pronouncing
Minucci, whatever. Yeah.
pronouncing these words wrong, these names. So his secretary stopped the work on that part of the currency redesign, arguing that adding new security features to the money was a more urgent priority. Mr. Mnuchin said that notes with new imagery could not be put into circulation until 2028, and that a future Treasury Secretary would make the call whether to replace Jackson. The Treasury Department, the Treasury Department, which Mr. Biden has nominated Janet L. Yellen to lead, plans to accelerate that timeline. The Treasury Department is taking steps to resume efforts to put Harriet Tubman on the front of the new $20 notes, Ms. Psaki said. It's important that our money reflect the history and diversity of our country. A Treasury spokeswoman said that she had no information to share on when a new design of the $20 bill might be released. Mr. Trump professed to be a fan of Andrew Jackson, a fellow populist, and was a fierce opponent of altering historical images.
Wow.
That is
I mean,
mostly it. But I actually saw here on Google that it's kind of ironic that he's on the $20 bill because he was actually against the national bank and paper money, and he made the goal of his administration
really?
to be the destruction of the national bank. So and actually in his
So
farewell
I
address,
was gonna,
in his farewell address to the nation, he cautioned the public about paper money. So that's a little ironic there.
yeah, that is ironic. No, what I was gonna ask, like, is there a reason she's replacing, the $20 bill, like Andrew Jackson? Like, did he do anything, in his political time that like he would be like the one to be replaced? Like, why don't they make a $22 bill? So, like add something. Like, I wonder what's going in like that they chose the
So I mean,
20, not the five. I
there
know
could
Abraham
be
like it's a five, but whatever.
there could be, yeah, it's a good question. There could be a few things. Um, it could just be simpler. To add a whole new money into the cycle. That kind of just I'm guessing is a much more complicated process. Everything like that. Um, Also, you
Yeah, I
said
mean, even if
you asked did Andrew Jackson do anything bad? Is that what you said?
yeah, I mean, like, is there anything that like, oh, let's replace Andrew Jackson? Like,
I mean, not to my knowledge.
I don't know.
He gained like popularity. You would say, because I believe he served as a general. I think in the United States Army and served in Congress. So I mean, you know,
Right.
regarding like I think the article kind of mentioned, which is pretty interesting to me, was that Trump was a fan, that Trump was a fan of Andrew Jackson, so he didn't want to go through with this.
Right. I mean, like, yeah. I just think that, like, even if they do pass this, it's gonna take years because, like, they print money every day, but when is it gonna get to people's hands? It takes a while.
Yeah, and
So
also to
either way,
produce enough.
like,
That's kind of that's what it said. That's what the article said. It didn't say that he didn't say that it would take till 2028 to be made, but rather here said that notes with new imagery could not be put into circulation, meaning like it wouldn't get into the public, people wouldn't start using it till then. And Biden's administration, his plan is to accelerate that timeline. So it sounded like Trump, this was even going to happen, even if it was Trump. Just they kind of just like pushed it off and everything like that. So it's on. What do you have for us on this
yeah.
situation? You think you in favor? You don't really really care or whatever? Abstain.
Right. So I mean, I think that like it's a lot of things. I don't really mind. It doesn't really affect me. Like I don't know exactly like what what like the real like I mean I know the reason because Harry Tubman was an important person. I just think that like yeah, again, I I feel like if I say like, oh, I don't really like care, like obviously that sounds like like a bad thing, like it is like monumental or whatever where it is, but like I don't think it like it'll take time definitely. So I don't know. I don't think it's like such a big thing now, but I mean like once it starts getting to the hands of people and like actually printed, I'm curious cuz like it started in 2016. Thought it could have been earlier, and now it's 2021 and they are just like trying to move it faster, right? So
Yeah, I I agree. Yeah, I think it's definitely like a nice thing. I think it kind of comes down to whether or not you like which either I guess you could say person. I guess you could say you support more. I guess you could kind of say. But at the same time, like I kind of am like abstaining here. I believe the term is. I don't like fully have an opinion on this. To say the least, I don't like. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's interesting. I don't. I like the initiative. Because I mean, she was like obviously clearly like she was a hero. I don't think most people
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think most people argue Andrew Jackson as a hero.
yeah, and I think that like even though he was, an important president or whatever, this I think it's like it's something bigger than that,
Yeah, that's what I'm
There's
saying.
plenty
Is
of
like
other
she,
presidents on the bills.
yeah, yeah,
And first
exactly.
woman on the bill, it's something bigger than just like, who the person was, more
Yeah,
like what
yeah.
they
It's
did,
it's something
you
like a
know?
nice
It could
thing
just
you
be
could say.
Yeah, it's like it's a kind gesture and it's a recognition. I mean, like you could just, I feel like it's mean to like Andrew Jackson, but he could just be like another president. Like I feel like something like this more like monumentous and like more, more historic.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I think we were kind of both touching on the same point there.
You're right.
So you have any
Vaccines.
you have any closing thoughts for us?
No, I don't know. I think we both touched on like our final points that it's something bigger than just like the person. It's what they did, and just having them on the bill. It gives certain people pride and hope.
Yeah, yeah. So take away our next segment for us.
Yeah, so I just want to like open up this vaccine segment by like reading this short thing. Like it just kind of like proves what we're about to say, but like New York City is postponing the planned opening of a mega vaccine sites in Citi Field and Yankee Stadium. There isn't enough supplies. Only 20 doses left in New York City, and this week only 100,000 fresh ones arriving. They need 200,000 to open those sites. So I mean, I know
Wow.
yeah. Wow, but I know that Biden is signing a bunch of things. You just said something about like 200 whatever. He's trying to get supplies and he's trying to get more vaccines out there. But like it really shows that like we are still we are still low on supplies. We still need a mass production of vaccines. They need 200,000. They're only at 100,000. So it shows that like even though like we're so close, like we have the vaccine, we just like we still need to speed things up.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that Biden, I don't know if you want to say resolved that, but he definitely helped this by purchasing 200 million vaccines the other day. You know,
Exactly. So I mean,
yeah, continue.
we have to wait for it to kick in. I mean, I think it's gonna be a few weeks before it gets back. Onto the streets. I mean, not onto the streets,
I
into
mean,
hospitals and city fields. So,
I don't know if that's true. I don't think either of us know the answer to
really?
that. I don't think either of us really know the answer to
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Like I think it could go either way. Neither of us. It could be, I don't know when they're getting it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, what I mean. I have no idea. But
Right.
I think it's definitely kind of interesting to see the difference in the handling of it from Trump to Biden. He's like, we're low on vaccines. Like you're telling me we need more, so okay, boom, purchase 200 more million. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate. Me, Trump supporter. But like Trump didn't have this opportunity. Like Pfizer really delayed it, so to make Trump look bad. So, like the vaccine wasn't really out there when Trump was president. So I think he'd definitely do the same thing. Hmm.
See, for those who I believe Aton's joking. That was
I think so.
yeah, it sounded pretty serious. But for those who are on audio, wouldn't know that, huh? No, but I think he definitely had time to
It's out
do it.
on
He definitely
YouTube.
have everything to do that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but I just think that that's interesting that the comparison of Biden's like, okay, we need more vaccines. All right, let's get 200 million. I don't have
yeah, not
statistics
even just
for
vaccines, it's just
I don't have
anything.
statistics for Trump to see how many he purchased and everything like that. Now you might argue that he has however many people vaccinated, whatever it was, like how many however much he got vaccinated.
Right.
But that's
Not
not a
that
fair
much, I
argument
don't think.
because I think the decent amount. I don't remember, but it's not a great argument because I don't remember what I was gonna say. But yeah,
It's all good. But yeah, no, I get like, the whole Biden motto is good. Like, I think you're funny. You're saying like, oh, like the people need more of this, then he's gonna do that. And I'm all like thinking like, isn't that a normal president? Like
Right, right.
I heard this like funny thing, from one of the late night hosts is like, all Biden has to do is be a little better than Trump. Trump's put the bar so low that, Biden could do anything that like he would be like, oh my god, he's amazing, but like every president before him has ever done this except for Trump. So like I just think like no, not throwing shade at Biden, but like it just funny.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point, to say the least. So,
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I just yeah.
yeah, you have any sorry, yeah. So the next closing topic that we will have is our debate question, and that question of this week's episode is: should there be school uniforms? Big time discussion. Third grade persuasive essays, fourth grade, whatever it was. Um,
Throwbacks.
definitely, um, definitely a good question. Because what do you think about it? What do you think about
I think that I think yes. I
them?
think that it is a yes. I know I'm playing the teacher side here.
Yeah.
But I
Wow.
agree with them. I think that like it is distracting. Like people really care like what other people are wearing. Like maybe not like boys, but especially like I think for girls, like if someone wears like some like fancier shirt or whatever. If we have everyone wear the same colors or not so like you have to wear XXX and X only, but you can like, be a little lenient. That's more in that's more up to the schools, but I think just the fact that have some boundaries on the dress code, that they're not just wearing like any brand or anything like that. Because I mean, we've had this in our old school that you can't wear logos and people are like, oh my god, that's so annoying. But like people that go to Old Navy and get their polo shirts, we had to wear polo shirts don't have logos. For people that go to like not Abercrombie's not so fancy, but whatever, like whatever stores like Ralph Lauren or whatever, um any polo shirt, whatever. So they have big logos on them. So I just think like stuff like that, like it really does help, like like the school community. I don't want to sound like some like annoying principal, but what do you think, Josh?
So, I think that I could see that kind of, but like some of the other arguments are just so not smart to me. Like I'm looking here, school uniform teaches students to dress smartly and take pride in their appearance. Howlett, this is from an argument, that says uniforms help students to prepare for when they leave school and may have to dress smartly. You have to dress smartly, which makes a ton of sense, or wear a uniform. And then I was reading an article that also went on to say that uniforms show that you are part of an organization. Wearing it says we are all in this together. Also, if you wear your uniform with pride, it means that you are halfway there to being respectful, buying into what the organization is all about. Uniforms gives These are all quotes from different teachers. Uniforms give students a sense of belonging to a particular school and create an identity for the school in the community.
Yeah, and I think like just to
Now
like put
I
it,
now I really don't like any of those points. I
you
think
don't.
Yes, I really do not. I think the point that you have to dress smartly might be that's just like I don't even know what to say to that. Meaning, like how the way one dresses has absolutely nothing to do with your level of intelligence. If you go to school in sweatpants, you can still be an A+ student. I think that's. I don't think that has to do with anything. A.
I don't.
B. Um, in what the article is saying, the part about make them feel that you're part of an organization. If your uniform is making what your school feels unified, then there might be some problems in your school actual community. Because if what you feel as is a community is just your uniform and not the actual people, not the actual setting, not the actual atmosphere, then that's I don't even know what
Yeah,
more to
but yeah,
say.
have you ever gotten like I'm not gonna show the camera, for privacy reasons, but I'm wearing my school sweatshirt right now. I don't know. You never got like a hat or something like a shirt from a school from your school. You never like had like that little bit of school pride in you that you'd wear that sweatshirt out and whatever. Like I just think that like it
I
like in
definitely
sense of like
have, but I don't
uniform and
think that
pride.
that should be required. I think it's a great thing. I definitely do not think that that should be required.
I think the teachers aren't touching on the point about the students. People really do care what other people wear. Like everything's on social media. Like Instagram is literally a
But
clip of someone's good
that
life.
we'll get to
So
in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. But what
I
are the
think
points I just said
which ones
about
like
dressing
just
smartly?
responding
A
to
feeling as a community.
that they don't, but smartly doesn't mean like, oh, like wear a math sign on your shirt. It means dress like, don't just show up in school in like some like pajamas so you can go onto your desk and fall right to sleep. Dressing smartly is
Why not?
like putting on,
Why can't you dress
because then
why
you
can't you
won't
dress
be
comfortably?
because you won't be focused on school. You have to put your priorities into school, not like just being comfy. You just school needs to be a little bit of a tense environment, just like when it comes to learning. If everything's so like relaxed and you're like you can like just be on your phone and fall asleep, and you can just like pull up in a hoodie and a blanket, then you won't learn
I don't think that
anything.
there's anything really wrong with that. I think our visions of a school are very different. I don't think that there's a problem with
School's
having
not
it with
camp,
I don't think that
Josh.
there's a problem with having comfort or even safety in a school or a choice in a school. I don't think that there's a problem with that or that would I do not think I would
I think
want to do a
prior
study. Hold on. I would do want to do a study. You take students with the exact same teachers, it has to have the right variables. Learned about that at the beginning of this year and last year also. Dependent variable, everything like that. Everything has to be the same, right? So same everything, same funding, same teachers, same policies, same everything. But everybody has different uniforms. So we each have our separate policies, and
right.
I'd like to see the differences. Obviously, I don't know why I'm saying this because this is not going to happen, but I do not think that you're correct. I do not think that that is a good way to have a school. What you were saying earlier, that it needs to be a tense environment. I think that that is a problem in the school system, is that it's all a tense environment, that there's no um I don't know the
There's
exact right
definitely
word here. There's no
moments to be
safety. There's
relaxed
no
and stuff. There's plenty of safety, Josh. There's a plenty of moments to feel relaxed, but when you walk into that classroom, you shouldn't be like, oh yes, another half an hour of sleep. You should walk in like, okay, this
Nobody's
teacher
going to
is
do
taking
that.
this
People
seriously.
a
What
a
do you
a
mean?
people do that. People do that already
Exactly.
in their
So putting
polo
on
shirt
letting
and
them
chino point
exactly. So
pants.
letting them pull up in their hoodie isn't gonna help.
The problem is not that what type of clothing they are wearing. I believe that the problem is that they're on either a working late on schoolwork, or more likely they're on their phone. I do not think that the problem of them being tired or falling asleep during class their has to do with their uniforms.
Mm, I think that like the environment in the school is definitely reflected on how people dress and how people like I don't know, just like even just having a dress code, it changes the environment
I
completely.
think that that's a
Like
problem
you
then. I think that that would be a problem in your school
but
environment.
school
Something
isn't
that
camp,
is
Josh.
representing that's wow. That that's not funny. That's not like I'm not making fun of you of your point. It's just the way like the optics of it, the way you sound right now is very funny. Like if somebody were to like edit that out and just like say this 14-year-old kid saying that school is not a camp, it sounds funny. But like I was saying, is I think that that would be a big problem if your environment of a school is based off of the clothing that you wear. But anyway, you like anything to wrap up this discussion?
I just want to say that was good. That was a good argument, Josh. I don't know. I hope the listeners enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, of course.
Schools and camp, Josh.
As always,
Okay.
I think that was a I think that's definitely a good question we had. So to answer the trivia
Very good.
question, the question was what is the
I want to
lowest
wait.
hold on. The question is what is the lowest army rank of a United States soldier? So take your time to, guess here. And Eitan, what you got any guess for us?
I just think a regular soldier is the lowest rank you can go. Just like,
Okay, and what is
a
that
regular
called?
soldier. A guardsman.
No, not a guardsman. Anything else?
Officer.
No. Okay.
No, that's not that. Yeah,
So my
yeah.
original
Tell us,
guess,
tell us.
I had two guesses. My original
Yeah.
guess was cadet. So that is
Oh,
not
of
the correct
course. Yeah, I
answer.
was thinking that
My
too.
second guess was private. That is the correct answer.
What's
So what is the lowest army rank of United States soldier? The answer is private. That would be the lowest
what
rank
is
of
that?
United States soldier. So that is the end, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this week's
Oh,
episode.
okay.
Follow us on Instagram at theyoungerhalf. Check us out on your favorite podcast and platform. Subscribe to us on YouTube channel at theyoungerhalf. And if you want to help us grow, consider supporting us on anchor.fm/theyoungerhalf/support. Or click on the link in the description for questions or comments. Email us at theyoungerhalf@gmail.com. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe.